This is a student podcast of the University Hochschule Görlitz and is supported by the Department of Integration of the District of Görlitz and is co-financed by tax revenues from the budget adopted by the State of Saxony Parliament, funded by the State Ministry of Social Affairs and Social Cohesion.
The podcast contains mentions of racial and colonial violence and is only for demonstration purposes. Unfortunately, our podcast group consists of predominantly white, privileged students, but our goal is to use our podcast platform to counteract racial and colonial violence. Before you listen to this podcast, please be aware that this sensitive topic will be mentioned in this episode. We apologize in advance if our podcast negatively triggers you.
Intentionally or unintentionally, it is our destiny, that we are here living together. We should make it better and nicer. And we are responsible of doing that. We cannot always expect of the systems. Systems should governments make the systems like equal, fair for everyone. But in a democratic society like Germany, citizens have the big role and play the vital role.
Mensch Görlitz.
Wir müssen reden.
Hello listeners and welcome to Mensch Görlitz, our podcast about everyday racism. I'm Casey and this is
Najla.
And we will be discussing the social setting in Görlitz. This episode will be recorded in English, but we will upload translated transcripts in German. Please follow the link below to our show notes for the translated transcripts. So Najla, you want to tell us about yourself?
I'm Najla Faisi from Afghanistan. It has been almost 1 year that I have been living in Germany, and now I'm learning German.
And how do you like it so far, German course?
It's pretty good. It's difficult, but it's pretty interesting to learn a new language.
So, to get us started on our podcast today, on our episode, we're talking about the social setting in Görlitz. And so I thought it would be cool to talk about the different positive things that Görlitz has to offer for its citizens and for the people living around Görlitz, and kind of talk about what does Görlitz have to offer for a person or for a family, or what just different activities they have to offer.
Görlitz is a small town, but it doesn't mean it does not have anything to offer, especially for immigrants or refugees. For example, this year we saw different festivals that was conducted in Görlitz, and it was open for everyone, including immigrants and refugees. And it took place in different areas of the town. For example, in Stadtpark, Obermarkt, and the Innenstadt. And I was part of the 3 or 4 of them. So I was able to see how the people look like, the host community, and the immigrants or refugees. So, and it was pretty interesting for me. I found it good because, firstly, it was open for everyone in a friendlier environment. I saw immigrants came with their children and was enjoying, it's like they were enjoying as Germans were enjoying the festivals. They could see the festivals, or they could buy something that they wanted. So, and beside of the festivals that is conducting in Görlitz, there are places like playgrounds, parks, sea, and so people can walk with their families, and in the parks, or you not only have the chance to go to the nature or go outside with your family, and also you have the chance to interact with the host community, with the Germans. Maybe it would not be easier to connect or interact meaningfully, because especially for the newcomers, since they are not able to talk when they first come to the Görlitz or to Germany, but at least they see each other. So observations, looking at the people is also an interaction, and so it's an opportunity to connect with the people. Although you might not be able to talk with them. So yeah, it's good. So I it's pretty cool that you have different options and opportunities in such a small town.
Yeah. So I think Görlitz has a lot to offer, where people really come into contact situations where you don't really have to be able to talk with one another, so their kids start playing with one another.
Yeah, sure.
And then they can either talk with one another or hand movements. And the festivals, we were definitely on the Focus Festival. That was really cool. Mensch Görlitz was there, and they had a lot to offer. And there was just so many families there, it was very diverse in the people that they had there. Görlitz has a lot of parks too, where you have to, if you're walking anywhere in Görlitz, you have to walk through a park, and
you see different people there. Yeah,
and all different types of people. Either with kids or with dogs or whatever. I mean, you're constantly coming in contact with people here, and I think it's very obvious that Görlitz itself is very diverse. And I think the fountain, when the Berliner Straße, there's like a big fountain there. I know I spent a lot on the time sitting there. I really like looking at the fountain, but you really see all the different people coming together. And I think they have a lot to offer. And I think they also have a lot of, like the festivals you talked about, the Focus Festival, the Rapika. They offer a lot of different things. Hochschule here offers a lot of different, like, campus air where people can come. And so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you mentioned Berliner Straße. It's like when you just go there, you see a few businesses like restaurant, coffee shops, opened by migrants. And the clients or the customers are not only the immigrants, but also the Germans and other people. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's almost like they just automatically come together. It's not like separated. Only these people go here or here. Like you can really tell that it's just very diverse, and people are flowing and moving together. And I like that about Görlitz.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I think Görlitz really has a lot to offer for, people of, like, for everyone, for families, for kids, for singles, and they're coming together, being able to interact with other. And I think our question is, does everyone feel welcome in the social scene in Görlitz? Is everyone treated fairly in the social scene in Görlitz? And to talk about this more, we kind of have a question game planned where we have folded up questions in front of us, and then each of us will take turns taking a question and then reading it aloud, and then just going from there and kind of having an open discussion about it. I'll go ahead and take one.
Sure. Let's start it.
Yeah. Let's get ready to rumble. No, just kidding. So the first question. Do immigrants have equal opportunities for work and education in Görlitz?
As far as I know, it's a little bit difficult. Regarding the work, you have to meet different requirements, and meeting those requirements is not easy for everyone, especially when you are coming from a developing country like Afghanistan or Syria. So, because the German system requires different things. So, It's not easy, but it can be possible. But it takes time. It can be possible, but it takes time. And so, like the work, you have to offer a German employer different documents, and it's not possible for everyone that they left their country in a, for example, like a conflict. They are coming from a conflict war zone country, so they might not have all those required documents with them. And the difficult point, the problem is they have to start over everything here. Like when you are 30 years old or 20, so you are no longer at school or university age, as you are already done with them in your home countries. And now when you are in Germany, you have to have everything ready, and in Görlitz also. So I think it's not possible, and it's very difficult for immigrants. But maybe for some people that they have their documents ready, but I don't think that there are more opportunities. You can work there in Görlitz. Görlitz is a small town, it's maybe it does not have the enough opportunities for their host communities as well. So people go to the big cities to find work opportunities. But it doesn't mean there is not work opportunities here. It also depends which work area you are going to work as an immigrant or as a refugee. It's like business area or it's service area. Which industry you are interested and you have the required skills and knowledge. So not in Görlitz. I think in any small towns or small cities, it's a little bit difficult, and it takes time to meet to meet all the requirements, including the paper documents. And regarding the education, I think it also depends on the age. For children, the Görlitz have kindergarten, schools for the school-age children, also a university for people who meet the requirements. It can be the German language or the school system. So, we all majority of immigrants are not only the children or school-age people. We might have people that they are over 30 or over 25. So for their education, there are German courses. So immigrants can take, or foreigners can take the German courses, but it's only a German course. It's like you should be lucky to find a job after finishing your German course. But I know many people here that they are living for 5 or more than 4 years, that they could not find their work or the opportunities that they were interested. So I can say for Görlitz is regarding the education is good for school-age children or for children at all, but for people who would like to continue their lessons, continue their education, and if they are lucky to have the required documents, it has not a lot to offer for them, because it should not be only Görlitz, so any small city has the same problem. So people try to leave small towns to find their interested educational opportunities.
Mm. And how long does it, you were talking about, the process of getting the right documentations and doing the German course. How long does that usually take for one to be finished with that and actually be able to find a job?
Mm-hmm. Regarding the German course, as far as I know, it's also difficult because, you can register yourself in a German course, but because of this huge number of applicants and interested people, to German course, you cannot find it easily. So you have to wait usually like 3 or 4 months. You can start your basic course, and when you end your B1 course, you have to wait. If you pass the test, you have to wait at least 3 months or more than 3 months in some cases to start your BCY course. So because we don't have many schools here, there are, if I'm not wrong, there are only 4 school courses here that offer German courses for foreigners. So and when you find easily or your courses, so it usually takes 3 years to complete the German course. It's for people who are interested to get the C1 or at least B2 certificate, but for the B1, it can be done within the year or less than 1 year.
Yeah. Wow.
But if you want to have a good job, so you cannot get it with your B1 certificate, you have to
go back and do B2 and C1. That's crazy. So you're spending almost 3 to maybe even 4 to 5 years if you're going to get C1 just working on your German.
And it's also not easy to get a job with only your German certificate. It's the German language is one of those requirements. So you have to meet all the requirements to get a good job or a decent job. So.
Yeah. And then just to think that takes so many years, and then you said even after that, after you get your certificate and you get your documents, thinking about the time and going and doing interviews, and that takes a really long time.
Yeah.
In
which industry you are interested.
Else.
Yeah. Overall, it's not easy for immigrants. You have to start everything almost from zero.
Yeah, and that's just for one person. If you have a whole family here, you have to do that process for every person in that family. You know what I mean? And even trying to find, kids a spot in kindergarten, or making sure you're getting all your documents in your German. But if you have a husband or a wife, them trying to get their certificate and their papers, that's a lot to do.
Yeah, it is. So you have always these pressures on your mind, and thinking what your future would look like and what can you do, because so you have to plan everything from the zero. It's what do you want, which field you should work, and how is the labor market. So you should consider everything, and it's everyone cannot do it. It's not possible for everyone. You have to be, it's you have to be a little smart and use the opportunities well. So So take the advantages and be careful. So what do you want? So yeah.
And does one really get the opportunity to work or go back to educate themselves on a specific job? You know what I mean? Like, do they get the chance, or is there really the chance in Görlitz that if you want to, let's say you were a Erzieher oder Erzieherin, so you took care of kids in a daycare, is that as easy then to get a job like that here, or do they require like that you study in German or in Germany again for that, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, is it easier to get whatever job you wanted that you maybe worked before and you're wanting to do that in Germany? Is it simple to just start working in that area, or is it more likely that people are going to have to get a job like you said, in services or in cafes or in a restaurant or so?
I have not experienced it yet, but as far as I know, it's not easy, because I know people that they were working like, I know a guy, he was a doctor in Syria, but he's a shopkeeper. He's working as a shopkeeper here in Dresden. So, it's like shopkeeper or and a doctor. They're two types of different jobs. So it's not easy. You like regarding the documentation, and if you want to become a doctor here, you should go to university here. It's like so it sounds not easy. It's difficult. But for the school age children or for the young people, I guess it's easier. It's a bit easier, yeah. But even for the like for the older people or people who are above their 20s, if they have the enough motivation, to start over everything and to meet all those requirements. So it is not impossible. It sounds possible, because we have heard stories of people that they start over everything. Like they started from the zero, and they finally got the job that they wanted to get it. So, but it's it takes time, yeah, and it depends to the people's motivation and their goals.
Yeah, but the thing is, it shouldn't be that hard. In Germans, they're always saying we need people, we need doctors, and then they have a doctor not being able to be a doctor because of all this documentation and all, making sure they have a specific German course. One thinks it shouldn't be that hard, but they make it that hard, and it's almost astounding to think, how can they make these comments that they need these people, and they have these people, but they're not allowing them to work where they are. But after 5 years, 6 years, and having to do 5 times more than the Germans, who were born here to do.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because of these requirements,
Yeah.
Like universities has different levels, and you maybe like in Afghanistan, Kabul University is accepted in different fields, but when you are graduated from a university in the north part of the country or the south part of the country, it's not easy to get the acceptation in Germany. Yeah. Sounds difficult.
Yeah, just because you lived somewhere other than another place, it's even harder, or not as hard. I mean, it seems like they have a lot of indirect rules on what some people should have and what some people shouldn't have, and
Yeah, but I believe it's like it sounds kind of an opportunity cost, you know? You come to a developed country from developing countries. It's kind of a risk. You know, you are aware that you will lose some advantages, and still you don't have any option, and you should accept all the risks and start over everything. So, and I believe everyone knows that. So this is the life, yeah. But nothing is impossible. Yeah. Still depends to the people's goals and visions.
Wow, and those people are very strong.
Yeah, they should be strong, you know. They have no option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's my turn to ask the question. It's a pretty interesting question. What does integration look like in Görlitz?
What does integration look like in Görlitz? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what does integration look like in Görlitz? So I think we kind of talked about it in the other question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it, you know? But I guess another question is like, how do Germans see integration in Görlitz? What do they expect from the immigrants? What do they expect from the people coming here? What do they, to their standards? Because you always hear what they want, what they expect, you know? And I think a lot of times you hear like, well, they shouldn't just be sitting down. They should be doing this. They should be learning German in 2 weeks. And by learning German, they should have C1 in the first 2 weeks that they're here. They should be, you know what I mean? Like, those are just some things that I hear, you know, sitting around or listening or hearing or talking to people. And it's just astounding to hear. What are different things that you've heard or maybe felt expected from when it comes to integration into the German culture or into Germany?
I think for people who come to Germany, including Görlitz, there are things, it's like, you know, it's kind of a mutual process. It's when you come to Germany as an immigrant, so with visa or without visa, it sounds you don't sign a contract, but it sounds when you enter to the country, maybe not only Germany, any country in the world, it sounds that you sign a contract with the host government and the host community. So it's kind of a mutual process. You have responsibilities to do it in the host country as an immigrant, refugee, and other side or host community or the host government has also some responsibilities and some rights over you. It sounds like that, and you have to meet the expectations. You know. It's not written for you, but you always hear it everywhere. It can be public offices or non-public offices, or even when you just go out or when you go to a market for buying something or go to a doctor. Like everywhere in your daily life, I guess it's logical in some way, like some part of these expectations. Not every, like, not each of them, but like immigrants. As immigrant, you know, when you go to another country, you have to respect the cultural, the peoples, but also the people, the host community that they have announced that, we are open to the immigrants, like we have friendly environment, we have offered these opportunities. They should also be aware of what kind of people they are hosting, when they are coming to a country based on your commitments. So what types of people they are. You will see them, if they are Muslim, with different appearances, or even non-Muslims. So you will see them differently, with different appearances, with different cultures. So yes. So you have to respect them as well, because you cannot just say we are open to the immigrants, but at the same time you expect that they should be similar to us. It's not possible. Maybe some people do it, but many people do not do it because they say we don't have to do it. So, and yeah, I guess problems happens, these conflicts, when people don't respect each other, if it's a host community or if it's immigrants or refugees.
They kind of take the word integration as, no, well, you're here, so now you have to look like us, you have to talk like us, you have to be like us, and that's not really what integration really means. I mean, they can expect people who didn't grow up here to know everything, to understand cultural differences. They have to also be aware when they're talking about integration that they're allowing people to be themselves and welcoming them with open arms. And there's some things that we have to integrate with, whether it be like the government, having to do all the paperwork and do all the documents and all the culture stuff that goes with that. But no one should expect immigrants to change who they are with their culture. And I mean, you hear all the time, well, they're just so loud. Why are they so loud? Why are they being loud? Why are they being obnoxious? And it's like, are they really being loud? Are they really being obnoxious? Or are you just really quiet and kept to yourself and you expect others to be that way? I mean, there's comments like that where I don't think they don't even check to even see that they're being this way. Some do. But it's just maybe there needs to be some more education on what integration actually means, because I think...
Yeah, certainly. So, yeah, both sides needs to tolerate and need to respect each other's and the difference, the diverse and the different perspective on everything. Yeah.
I don't think they're also, as Germans, they're not aware of what an immigrant or someone coming here from a different country, what they have to do to come here. I can just imagine all the documentation, everything new. You're coming with your family. I mean, do you get that same impression from Germans that they don't really, they don't even know what's going on? They just expect that because you're here.
As far, I think it's kind of, some people might know it's an advantage for people who come here. It might be advantage in some way, but yeah, all these processes is not easy. So people who leave their countries, I'm certain that they have to leave their countries, their home countries. No one wants to leave their home without a valid justification. And it's hard, but I believe it can be easier when people know each other better. And I wish people knew each other better, at least try to know each other in a different way. and talk with each other, connect with each other, interacts. When we don't know the people, so we are strangers to each other, and it's difficult to connect, to interact with these people, because for everyone, both for the Germans, also for the immigrants and refugees, there should be opportunities to people who are living intentionally or unintentionally together, that know each other, and maybe things would be a little different as it is today, because life should be easier in that way, Yeah. A little you have trust to each other, because now, you can see apartments in Görlitz that Germans, immigrants are living together as neighbors. And so it's like we are pretty close to each other. We are living together, and we have to take time, give time to know each other. It's like at least have information how the life is going for everyone, and how we can change the situation.
Do you think Görlitz has offered a lot of those type of situations for people to interact and get to know each other in a positive way or a more negative way? Or
I think they are trying, but it takes time. So sometimes when systems work like government too much, and when people are not ready to accept those changes, it does not work. This is a relationship between humans and humans, more than humans and system. And it would be better if this process happens naturally, and we as humans, people, make it available. And it would be possible when people have the knowledge of the problem and the context. Like it can be us community or Germans people or immigrants. Like you cannot just say as an immigrant, I don't care what they think about us, or as a German, because so in that way we will not have a good society. So intentionally or unintentionally, it's our destiny, that we are here living together. We should make it better and nicer. And we are responsible of doing that. We cannot always expect of the systems. Yeah, systems should government make the systems equal, fair for everyone. But in a democratic society like Germany, citizens have the big role and play the vital role.
People can make the change.
Yeah, it's the people definitely that make the change and make it possible.